So on my journey for EDC, I have looked into pens. And I am not a pen person, but I have bought several inexpensive pens. My initial pen that I was using was the Skillcraft Aviator pen. I think it's like the Skillcraft like S something, I don't remember the name. But if you look up Skillcraft Aviator pen, you'll find this beautiful pen. Normally it has a cap here that is twisted on, but I lost it. It's got, essentially what happened is that I keep things in this pouch, which I will go over my EDC loadout at some point, but I kept things in this pouch and I keep it in my front left pocket, and at some point just friction, it fell off, and this eraser also of course got obliterated without the cap. The thing about this pen and why I used it, it's about like $30-ish. It is a black pen, a red pen, and a mechanical pencil, which I thought, wow, that's really cool, especially considering that this pen is a very average sized pen. Here is the Zebra pen. As you can see, it's maybe actually a little smaller than the Zebra pen. Perfectly nice size compared to those multi-sized, multi-colored Bic pens, which are like very thick, just inconvenient. Not the most comfortable to hold. But this pen, unfortunately, was not the pen to be for me. I found that I didn't actually end up needing red pen, and when I did need pencil, it just being in this pouch on the exterior and the pocket, the lead would get kind of messed up and it would break, and it was not actually very reliable. Now if I kept it on the interior of my pouch, I'm sure it would have been fine, but I did not exactly keep good care of this pen, because it is like the EDC pen that I toss around. If it's in your bag, if it's inside the pouch, I'm sure it'd be fine, but this was actually probably the most rough place that it could be. Now I will also say that, like, you might think $30, oh, it's a lot of money for a pen, but it is also the assembled by the Institute for the Blind, which I think is really cool. So I personally do not, I would buy another one of these pens should I find the need to it. I thought it was going to be really helpful as a teacher, but most of my assignments are either online and I don't like do like paper homework. So anyways, this pen, the Skillcraft, I end up retiring, and I decided to look at other options. So what other options did I look at? I started with the Zebra pens. This is the F301, the F402, and the F701. I made a little YouTube short about this, but essentially Zebra pens are like really inexpensive. You can buy the 301 in bulk boxes. They're about $2 each, so you can get a dozen of them for like 20-ish bucks maybe. The 402 are a little bit more expensive, and I want to say like between $4 to $5. And the 701 is about $10-ish. Now I understand people want to buy nice, a lot of the EDC stuff it's kind of like just gear hunting, and people like having nice things. Like, I don't need an $80 titanium bolt action tactical self-defense pen. I want a good reliable pen that doesn't fail, or at least has multiple function like this one does in a small compact kind of form. But I decided that I would lean towards never failing. The 301 is the lightest one. This is 12 grams. It's so light that I didn't even bother doing ounces. The 402 is 18 grams, and the 701 is 24 grams, so literally twice the weight of the 301. I find that the 301 with the plastic barrel, it has a nice pocket clip, and arguably the most satisfying click. Can't really go wrong with this. This is really nice. And if you don't like the roller ball, they do come in a gel variant. Here is the G 301, G for gel. It has basically the same everything. I think it might be slightly heavier. Let me just weigh this right now, actually. Nope, I'm wrong. It's 11 grams. So, give or take 1 gram, it's the same weight. And they look exactly the same on the outside. If you twist it apart, here you'll see that this is the roller ball refill, and this is the 0.7 I want to say, and then the gel one here looks largely the same. However, on the inside you'll see that it's a gel refill And the zebra refills are really nice because the gel ones don't smudge. So if you're left-handed, fear not, they work really well. I did some writing tests. As you can see, the 301, the gel ones are a little thicker. These are medium gel opposed to, I don't even know, this doesn't say here, 0.7 millimeters on some of these. So here's like my writing test. I write good. The 402 I find has a nice little rubber grip. This one honestly is like a really nice middle ground. I feel like a lot of people talk about the 701 for EDC and everybody knows the 301. The 402 I feel like is a little slept on. I don't like the click as much, and I do find that this pocket clip is a little annoying where it has like this nub. This little nubbin opposed to this sort of fold thing. The 701 and the 301 have the same folded style pocket clip. This one, no problem at all. Great pocket clip. This pocket clip, just a little annoying. For my purposes, my own use case, because of this pouch, I find that the rubber, of course, is like causes a lot of friction pulling in and out. But that is like the rubber itself feels quite nice. It's a good pen. It's a really good pen. So if you find that maybe this one's a little too heavy or you want a slightly nicer pen than this one, the 402 can't go wrong. I do find the click to be less fun. The 701 also has the same click, but this is steel tip to clip. The ink cartridge is even quite nice in this as well. And what's cool about this pen is that you can also swap out this ink cartridge. This one is also made of metal, and you can actually swap it out with a Fisher Space Pen refill, and you will then have the 701 with a Fisher refill is a non-fail pen. It's like indestructible essentially, unless you're getting run over by a bus or whatever the fuck. And you know the ink, you know the Fisher Space Pens. If you don't know about them, they were designed to be used in space, and so on Earth, because I've never been in space and I don't plan on it. It can work underwater, upside down, on grease, and between the temperatures of -30 Fahrenheit and 200 Fahrenheit. So if you are outside of those extreme ranges, you're probably in a much worse position than your pen not working. But the 701 is really good. It's a little bit heavy, and I was worried about this knurling if it was going to be uncomfortable for me, but it's actually quite nice. I thought it was going to be much, but it is a really good pen. However, seeing my friend's gel pen, I decided that I would also try the G750, and I thought, holy crap, this is maybe the perfect pen. I found that the matte finish with the knurling is even more comfortable for my sensitive skin. If you've ever seen any of my videos, I do talk a lot about texture. And the click is much like the 301, which is just, it's a little different. If anything, it's springier. I was like, wow, this is maybe the perfect pen. However, two small things. One is it has the same nubbin pocket clip as the 402, which is a bit of a bummer just because it's a little bit worse. And also like this point here, it's like not like sharp or anything, but you know, this it's a little annoying here. The other thing that I did not notice is that this pen is longer than all the other pens, which in of itself is not an issue, but when putting it in my pouch, it no longer flushes with, you know, like the interior. It sticks out a little bit, just a little bit, which, oh, so close to being perfect. You know, here it doesn't stick out, not an issue. And I keep my pen on the exterior for quick access, which is my knife, my pen, and my glasses, polishing cloth. You know, the three things that I would need to be able to just pull out without needing to look. So all these numbers, the G750 being slightly longer, slightly inconvenient. Last pen I wanted to also talk about was the Fisher Space Bullet pen, and I got this in raw brass because one, brass looks nice. Raw brass especially has antimicrobial property. They've done tests on this. I don't know how lacquered brass is, but raw brass definitely. Unfortunately, the raw brass version does not have a pocket clip available. Now, I've seen some versions that have pocket clips and it seems kind of off, but as long as it's on the exterior, you know, the cap part here, it should be fine. This is about $30, and they also have chrome ones that do have pocket clips. So, like, theoretically, if I were to use a chrome one, or there's also, like, maybe I think like a tungsten Cerakote one. Like this would also be like really great. I do think the pocket clip would help a lot. Without a pocket clip, it just kind of fits in, and you know, it can roll on your desk and fall off if that's an issue. But it's just a really nice pen, and I decided to buy one anyways, just to one, mess around with the Fisher Space cartridge in the 701, as well as just because it's a nice piece of history. They do have cheaper pens, the Capomatic, which is like about $22. Haven't tried those, but I heard they're great. So if you want a space pen that you know is from Fisher the Fisher company, you can get a bullet pen. You can get a Capomatic. They also have higher end pens that are like closer to like $80 to $100. The Fisher cartridges themselves are about $10 each. If you want a pen that will like truly never fail, you can get a 701, put in a space pen cartridge in, or just get a space pen itself. I personally would get one with a pod clip. If they had a raw brass version with a pod clip, this might be like my go-to pen. But yeah, this pen is actually, how much is this pen? 750 is about like 30 grams, so it's even heavier just because it's also longer. And the Space Bullet Pen is 20 grams, 19 grams, so relatively comparable to the 402. Anyways, this has been my pen ramble. Maybe I will look to get a bullet pen in a different metal and have that be my daily carry. Otherwise, honestly, I might stick with the 301, either the gel version. The gel version also virtually never fails. Like the rollerball one, there was a time where I like tried to write and like ink didn't come out. I had to do that little scribble, and then ink came out fine and it was perfectly whatever. And also these pens are so inexpensive that like, even this one, even if you lose it, it's like $10. You know, opposed to losing an $80 pen, that would suck. So yeah, right now I'm messing around with just the 301. I think I'm going to be carrying the G301 just because it's nice as my daily carry in my pouch. But I have messed around with these, and if I think for whatever reason I find that the pen breaks, which hopefully it doesn't, if the pen does break, I'll switch to either the 7. Oh, actually, also what's interesting is that the 750 is brass. This is steel. This is brass, but it's coated. I don't know why, but that's what the website says, so anyways, if the 301 fails, I might switch to one of these two pens. But yeah, hopefully that helps you determine other inexpensive pens. Include the Parker Jotter, but I've never tried one, and I've already spent enough money buying pens that I won't actually use, and I'm not actually a pen person. So like, I just wanted to get I just want one good pen that like never fails, and I was like messing around with all these inexpensive pens. So hopefully that helps, and I hope this also shows that you don't need to buy an extremely expensive pen. And if you want a really good pen, there are so many very affordable ones, because all of these Zebra pens, they're all very good pens as just pens go. And if you want one that's like special, get a Fisher pen. Get a Fisher pen. They're really good. Anyways, that's my stuff. So I will do eventually an EDC loadout video talking about all the stuff in my pouch, my little pocket full of fun. So stay tuned for that. Click the subscribe button, and yeah.